Yo, welcome to the open pit. I'm your man, Mr. C with the most. Get ready to take y'all around the coast. How y'all doing today, fellas?
Yeah.
Good to be here.
All's
All
well.
right. Coming back. No. Hey, actually, Larry, no capping. What's going on, Larry?
A-Town down in the house.
Yeah.
Got Dean, aka D Web. What's up, D
Yes,
Web?
sir. What's happening? Cheers from the ATL. Cheers.
My co-host Kurt, aka Kurt Murder. What's the dealio?
Yo, what's good, everybody? How y'all doing today?
Yeah.
We good, man. The topics for this week, we got free agency, we got new coaches and new places. We got teams that's going to not do anything, and we got teams that's going to excel. We're going to talk about it. Just to get the party started, I'm looking at some stuff that got signed over the week. The Chiefs signed the linebacker Drew Quinhill to a 3-year deal, $19 million. Seattle released Quanti Diggs and Jamal Adams, which is big. Wow. Buffalo let everybody go. Hold on, man. Dre from the Bay, what's going on?
What it do?
What's happening?
What up, though?
All right. Buffalo let Poirier go. They let White go. They let Hardy go. They talk about letting Naheem Hines go also. And then the Broncos cut the safety, Justin Simmons. The Steelers signed Mitch Trubisky. They had a meeting with Russell Wilson yesterday, which might be a power move for them.
Justin Fields. Justin Fields is who they need.
To Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
We're gonna see. The Chargers released Eric Kendricks. They talk about cutting Khalil Mack, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, and talk about trading Joey Bosa, which is crazy as hell to me. I don't understand that. Washington signed Zach Ertz to a 1-year deal. We got the Dolphins signed Janu Smith from Atlanta. The Bears, they signed Jalen Johnson to a 4-year, $76 million deal. That was big for them. And the Pats re-signed Hunter Henry. All right, with all that being said, I'm going to pass the mic to No Captain. See what's going on. What you think about what's going on here in this NFL world?
Man, I want to discuss the one of the big elephants in the room. Just like D Webb just said, Justin Fields, man.
Yes, sir.
I think that should be the top of the discussion, because I think Atlanta was leaning towards getting Justin in the beginning. It's looking like he's going to maybe the Vikings right now. I think he's a top prospect for Vikings.
Who, Justin?
Justin.
Yeah.
Justin.
You think they're going to trade him inside the division?
Yeah. I mean, look, the Falcons was talking about picking up Kirk Cousins at one point, and then we were juggling with Justin Fields, right? I don't like Kirk Cousins because you already know he's been on the shelf for a while. I would have preferred a mobile quarterback like Justin Fields, right? And I think where he lands this year is going to be a huge move for any team that needs a quarterback in the NFL. Because just because the Chicago program didn't support the kid doesn't mean that he's not going to go perform somewhere else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm there, man. I'm trying, and I'm really on the fence about, which way the Falcons going to go. Are we going to go with, a prospect coming out of that college list, or are we going to pick up somebody from the NFL that's already in the league? So that's mainly where I've been at for the last couple days, man. To tell you the truth, I'm heavy set on the Falcons reemerging as one of the top teams in the NFL, like I know that they are. And y'all can argue about that all y'all. I saw you. I saw you from the Bay. I saw you over there. I saw them eyebrows go up.
Yeah, man, that's where I'm at. We going back to the Dirty Bird era. Or at least Mike Vick. I'll go Mike Vick. That's been since there. So
yes, sir. So I mean that's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I'm really focused on that move in the NFL. I know that there's a lot of other a lot of other things going on in the NFL, but I'm mainly focused on where this guy is going to land and what we're going to do at the QB position.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question, no Cap.
Yep.
The coach you got now, Raheem Morris, was he there before a couple years ago as an offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator? Me and Webb was talking about that.
He was offensive coordinator somewhere,
Offense?
right? I ain't really taken a look at the guy's resume, but I know it's better than where we're coming from.
Yeah, when he was in Tampa Bay, he balled out. When he was in Tampa Bay, he did his thing in Tampa Bay.
I'm looking forward to a good season with this guy. I'm looking forward to a dynamic offense. I'm looking forward to them picking up with the defense, and mainly, like I said, I'm concerned about that QB position.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So y'all lost Jonnu Smith. What's his name? Jonnu? How you pronounce it?
Jonnu Smith. Well, right. You got it right.
Yeah. You got the one of the best tight ends in the NFL, but y'all not utilizing him. So is he going to get more runs this time?
We need somebody to get him the ball, man. Like I said, with Ritter in London, you had the light skinned black man. He loved that target, even though we got this big time tight end on the field that we targeted less than 5 times a game on average. So we need a quarterback that's going to be able to get him the ball, but we also need a mobile quarterback that's going to be able to get out of that pocket when the play breaks down.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna pass the mic over to D Webb. See what he's talking about. What's cracking?
Man, what's good, fellas? I'm gonna stay right there. Cause look here, Justin Fields. Now it just happens that he, Ohio State. That just, sometimes things just kind of shake in like they're supposed. Look here, man. When the stars in line, man, sometimes things just come together, man. You don't have to even say nothing about it, right? So.
Yo, D-Web, I ain't gonna let you do that, man. That's a Georgia dog.
Yeah, I know. I just trying to say he was supposed to go to Ohio State. He was supposed to go to Ohio State. I was trying to slip it in because he was supposed to go. He was supposed, but anyway, he from y'all, and then he should have been born up there. Is what he should have been. He should have been born all the way up the way. But anyway, look here, man. I think Justin Fields is going to be the talk of the trade. I really think he's that good, and I think that he just had a little bit of the problems with Chicago. They were changing OCs, in and out. I think he's that dude, man. I think he's just like Justin Hurts. He doesn't pass as well as Justin Hurts, but I think if he can get with the right people, I think he'd be pretty good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think he'd be dope. Yeah, I really think he's gonna be dope, man. And I think that if he can, I like it with the Steelers though, because I saw some people say that the Steelers were looking at him, and I think under Mike Tomlin's tutelage, man, he may be able to get what he needs.
So everybody's on board so far we 2 for 2. Everybody's on board to going for Justin Fields going to Atlanta or going somewhere else. Me personally, I think Chicago need to keep him. Because you can't put your feature with a rookie quarterback. You already got a proven quarterback. You just give him some more weapons. You got DJ Johnson for the first time. Go out and get your boy from Ohio State, the wide receiver. Or get the offensive line right. Help him out. But that's just my thought on it. But we'll see. They make the big bucks for a reason.
Real quick though. See, I think sometimes relationships just don't work, man. And sometimes, what I'm saying, you'll see a guy move to another team. Remember how back when Rodman, before he got to the Bulls, he was with San Antonio taking his shoes off at halftime. I mean, but that one quick move, everything exploded. So sometimes,
it's all about the chemistry with your coach and the rest of your team. Mm-hmm. You got the right person, calling the plays and directing you as a player, and you start to develop that confidence with your team. I think that the Bears blew an opportunity with a top 10 quarterback in the future. Justin Fields was one of those guys.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right, I'm pass the mic on to Dre from the Bay. What's up, Dre?
Hey, what's going on? Fresh off of BMF. What up, though? Oh, Lord. All right, let me get back. But I'm with you guys on Fields. to be honest, a few years ago when the Niners traded their whole first round picks for the next 20 years and moved up, I thought it was for Fields, and I was surprised that they went with Trey, because I thought Fields had been there and done that in college. He played in big games. I mean, I like Trey, but Trey was playing, Montana State and stuff. And meanwhile, Fields is playing Clemson. And he showed me a lot in that game because his ribs would toe up, and that boy still gutted it through and won that game for them. But it's all going to be, to me, it's about the weapons. Now, somebody said earlier, not on here, but somebody was, I was reading, they were talking about the Bears trade that pick, stock you up some draft picks, because there's plenty of teams that want Caleb Williams. Trade that pick, stock you up some draft picks, and build around Fields. But just like D Webb was saying, sometimes relationships are fractured. I don't know. The Bears have yet to show me that they can develop a quarterback in 40 years. So I'm kind of on the way to let him go. But no capping, I'm gonna tell you, he's not mobile, but don't sleep on Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins can get, if you put weapons around him, he can get the football to him.
I like Kirk. I like Kirk more than I like Russell.
Yeah. No, Russell is almost out the league. But Kirk, because that Atlanta team's got weapons, just like you named Bijan. You got a quality running back. You got your boy that tight end. I'm drawing a blank. What's his name?
London. No. Tight end. Pitts.
Yeah, you got Kyle Pitts. You have London. You got a lot of weapons. So, I would like to see Fields come down here. That's to Atlanta. That's because he's from here. I would like to see that. And he's got weapons. And like I said, Chicago hasn't shown they can develop a quarterback. But I think him and Cousins are the two biggest names around, because teams that are a quarterback away, those guys, and especially Cousins, because he's got more experience. He just is not mobile. But I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if any of you guys watched that. Was it Netflix, that QB documentary they had with him?
I watched it. Yeah, I watched
Mahomes and what's his name? That was with the Falcons at the time. But if I developed a little more respect for Kirk Cousins after watching that, because that dude, he's a solid dude. He just is not mobile, and he does get hurt. So because he's not mobile. So but that's what I.
Over too, though. Don't forget he turned the ball over a lot.
He does. Okay.
Well, in big games.
There's that.
In big games.
In big games, and that's what you. And so, a team that hasn't even gotten the big games, he's going to help them. If you think you're on the cusp of winning a championship, I don't know if he's your dude, because just like Masipo said, is he does turn the ball over in big games. So. Yeah, but that's where I'm at.
I like what you said at the beginning of the conversation, because I was looking at that too. As far as there's like top 7 QBs coming out of college, right? I think Caleb Williams was at the top of it, but I'm also looking at, I don't know if he's going to be a good fit for the Falcons, but matter of fact, this is my homeboy's nephew, Penix Jr.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Coming into the league, he does have a cannon. If he land on the right team, that's going to be a problem.
He lost a lot of stock in that Michigan game because he looked overwhelmed. Yeah. Now, that was probably because his line was getting tossed like salad. But, but he looked he kind of lost a little bit in that game, just because he started just panicking and throwing the ball up for grabs. Yeah. And so, and they're like, if you're doing that in college against Michigan, what's going to happen, when Chris Jones and them is chasing you, you know. So, but I do like if he goes to, he's one of those to me. He needs to go and maybe sit behind a veteran for a year or two, like these guys used to be able to do. The problem is now is everybody comes in and is expected to just start. Whereas before they, unless you were, Peyton Manning or something, you got a chance to sit for a year or two and learn the system. Now you get thrown in, but some of these guys are playing that way. I mean, they're good enough to do it. So
but
I
give you coming from that collegiate level, and believe it or not, the game is slower at the collegiate level than it is at the NFL. You say everybody is a top athlete, right? Yeah. It's not a mix of players. It's like these are the cream of the crop. So
only close is the SEC when you're playing those top teams. But any other conference, the game speed is totally different because everybody was blue chippers. Are y'all all good with Caleb Williams? I mean, do we think he's number one or?
Come on, that's my number one. Look, coming out of college, that's my number one prospect. If we get Caleb, I'm gonna be quiet for the rest of the year. I don't care how many games we lose. I'm good.
Hey, for Penix, though, he got a nice touch on that ball, that left hand. He puts it in the bread basket every time.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Give him some weapons. Hey, he might be a sleeper pick. Whoever get him gonna be a sleeper pick.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Kurt Murder, what you got, man? Let's get you chime in here.
Yo. Yeah, man. Hey, man, I definitely like everybody take today on the open pit, man, with the Justin Fields thing. But you know what? I'm not going to start there. I'm not even going to start there. You know what I mean? I'm going to pay homage to my boy, the Justin Matabike, the best interior tackle in the league right now, right? So Baltimore Ravens actually went out and they first franchise tagged him before the deadline at like 1:00. The deadline was at like 3. Didn't think they was going to get a deal made or done. And believe it was yesterday, Justin Matabike signed a 6-year, $908 million. You know, so next guy we got out there that's looking forward to that big contract is Chris Jones, and I believe that Chris Jones is definitely going to make $100+ million. Right? Yeah, he's definitely gonna get that. So I want to talk about my boy Justin Matabike first, man. 13 sacks, had a half a sack in 11 straight games, tied the NFL record. So
is he a tackle?
Let's go. Yup, interior.
Ooh, that's a lot of sacks for an interior.
For an interior guy.
Yes. Right. So like, I'm glad we got that done. Now we can work on, doing some restructures to possibly get under this cap right here that we're possibly over by a little bit. Justin Fields is a definitely an interesting topic, right? In free agency. I was telling everybody, a lot of people last year, that Chicago was going to trade Justin Fields. It only makes sense. He's been there for 4 years, coming up to his 5th year, right? And he just hasn't done what he was supposed to do. Was it 5? This 5, yeah.
I think it's 3. Because he came out when that same draft with Trey Lance, with who's your other guy? It was in.
So I know they didn't pick up his 5th year option last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
When is his 5th year, or is it 4?
I'm trying to look and see.
I think he's going into season 4.
That's what I think.
Going into season 4, right? Yeah. So okay, so he's starting to, going into season 4. He just hasn't done it for Chicago, but Chicago to me just don't, like Dre from the Bay said, man, we haven't seen them develop a quarterback in 40 freaking years, right? So that's nothing to even discuss there. So I believe it's a great move to trade Justin Fields. One, you don't have to pay that next contract out. You're gonna bring a Caleb Williams in, possibly. I do believe that Jaden Daniels is probably going to be the number 1 pick. Right? I believe that, just because of his athletic ability. Not to say that Caleb Williams don't have it, but Jaden Daniels remind me of Lamar Jackson with a much better arm and accuracy, right?
Ooh.
So I like it. I like him coming out number one. Commanders probably a grab Caleb Williams number two, as they should. But Justin Fields, very interesting. I have heard the Atlanta thing. I don't want him to go to Atlanta. I want him to stay far away from Georgia as possible. And nothing bad about Atlanta, because I don't really talk bad about Atlanta. I think it's a pretty decent team with a really good defense with a subpar quarterback. But the problem with Justin Fields, that's his backyard. He's not going to me, I don't think he's going to put as much work in as, let's say, he goes to the Steelers. Now, I don't want him to go to the Steelers either, because I don't want Baltimore to have to deal with that crap every year, right? You know what I mean? But that Steelers organization, man, I just think they do a much better job with developing quarterbacks versus Atlanta, and putting Justin Fields in his backyard. He's from Georgia. He's gonna be in Atlanta.
Too many distractions.
Young. Exactly, too many distractions. That's the only reason I wouldn't want Justin Fields to go to Atlanta. But I do like Chicago trading that pick. I'm gonna run off some names real quick, right? So for free agency, I'm gonna just run off some names. I'm gonna talk about Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, like somebody said, I actually didn't like Kirk Cousins. Didn't think that Kirk Cousins was a really good quarterback until I actually started looking at his numbers. And every year he's definitely in the top 5 as quarterbacks, right? But he is coming off this big behind Achilles tear. I see any team probably offer number 1 year. Now, I think that would be the best fit for Atlanta. Go get Kirk Cousins. Go get a Kirk Cousins, a veteran like that's gonna put up 4,000, 5,000 yards. Sign him onto a 1-year deal, right? Because he is coming off this huge injury. Another name that's out there is Josh Allen, right? But the Jaguars just hit him with that franchise tag. I'm not even sure if it's the exclusive or non-exclusive. So I don't know if he's able to even talk to teams. But I like that pick as an edge rush. I was wishing Jacksonville wouldn't have done that, so possibly Baltimore could have snatched them up. Man, T. Higgins got hit with that franchise tag so quick.
He did. Yes,
right?
He did. Yes,
21 M's. I think he was the first person off the board. Like, they hit him with him immediately.
Yes,
but
sir.
now what happens is, now they force their hands. So Joe Mixon is definitely out of there this year. He's definitely out of there. They're paying Burrow. They're going to pay Chase. Say it again.
You said Mixon's a free agent?
Oh, yeah. He's
He is? He's a free agent?
Yeah. If he's not a free agent, he's out of there.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You think they'll waive him?
Yeah, I don't see him in my top 40.
Right. If he shouldn't be a top 40, but I think I don't know if he is a free agent or not, but they're definitely gonna get rid of him because they're gonna pay Joe Burrows. They're gonna pay Chase, right? Their defense, they're going to pay that defense because that defense has been balling out of control. And to keep T. Higgins there, I don't think it's enough money to go around to keep a running back that's like Joe Mixon that is actually doing pretty well. Then you got Brian Burns, right? Panthers franchise tagged him, and I was mad about that one too. I was like, dang. All right, then we got some of the good names for. Say it again, no cap.
24 million.
I know, right? Like, I'm like, dang, yo. Like, I definitely wanted him also. Some of the running backs I actually like in the free agent market is Josh Jacobs, right? Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Eston Eckler, right? I think that's his name. Austin Eckler, I mean. And then Swift. Yup. I like those running backs right there in the free agent market, man. Hopefully Baltimore can land either one of those. Seen the Kansas City Chiefs, they went out and they tagged your boy, the Jerry Sneed, right? So I was like, sheesh, man. But hopefully it's not an exclusive tag and we can work out something because Baltimore is probably set to lose Geno Stone, right? So Geno is out of the door. Probably one of the best safeties in the league too. Then we got your wide receivers out here. Some big name. Well, Mike Evans off the board. I think they gave him a nice little contract. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Gave him a nice contract, man.
Yeah, I think
And you know, I get it.
1,000 yards, 10 years in a row, 1,000 yards. 10 years.
He's bad.
With all of the QBs, QBs, it didn't matter QBs 10 years straight. That's a bad man.
He's one of the more underrated players in a long time that that they talk about, but they don't really talk about. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. I mean, when you break it down, I mean, that dude's been putting in work, and just like D. Webb said, it's like, how many quarterbacks has he played with? You know, I mean, he's been playing with the who's who, not a who's who, but who he type of quarterbacks. You know, Did Ridley? Is he still a free agent, or did they?
Calvin Ridley's still a free agent. Yep, he's out there.
Right.
Yep.
I
like him too.
I'm like, if IU bolts, I'm fine with picking up Ridley to spread that field for my Niners, but that's another story.
That's true.
Yeah. No, I like Mike Evans, man. Mr. Hands is what I call him.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
You know what, man? I was just having this conversation with my brother a few weeks ago, man. Like, he does have that hands, but anytime you look at him, man, I think definitely last year he led the league in the most drops. You know what I mean? And I'm like, man, like he will literally drop a wide open pass and come back and make a spectacular catch, right back. And it's like, man, what happened? Like, what are you doing? But I like Mike Evans. My only knock on him is that he does drop the ball a lot. But yeah, there's some big names, free agents out there. And I think this year, there's going to be a lot of movement, and a lot of teams are going to catapult their franchise with these movements.
One quick thing, on what Kirk Murray said. The only reason I don't like Kirk Cousins for Atlanta, because I think Atlanta needs to be in their rebuilding stage. They got young receivers, young tight end. So Kirk Cousins is the kind of guy you get if you think you a step away and can win now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if you trying to rebuild, that's why I like Justin Fields, or even they can get a younger quarterback. They can build those guys so all of them come together, 2-3 years in the league with good coaching. Kirk Cousins is kind of like plug and play. Like if I get him, we can do something now. Atlanta's not, they're farther away than winning right now. So that's the only reason I don't like Kirk Cousins play. But
you think so?
What's that?
You think they're that far away, D-Web?
Yeah, but I think I don't trust young guys. I don't trust young guys like that. And they got a young running back that's real good. Kyle Pitts is young. London is young. Most of their main players are young dudes. And I don't know if they can be trusted to go through the playoffs and take it all away right now. So that's why I say get a younger quarterback and bring them all together versus, to me, if you get Kirk Cousins, you thinking you can make a move right away.
Right.
And that's what I believe. And the reason I say that is because the NFC is weak. Hands down, there's really like two good teams in the NFC. Like, these are the elite teams, like the 49ers and I don't even know who else I would put up there. You know what I mean? Like, Eagles. But you think of the Eagles? I wouldn't put the Eagles up there. I wouldn't put them up there.
Over the Cowboys. I can't put the Cowboys. You can't trust the Cowboys.
But that NFC
Detroit. My fault. Detroit.
What is that? What is that?
That NFC South
is
right.
Yeah,
it's
bad. Open for the taking. I mean,
exactly. So Atlanta was actually leading in the division last year, right?
Yeah,
right.
It was so easy to do, though. It was so easy.
It's too easy. Right. And that's what I'm saying.
When you facing San Fran, or if you face Detroit, or even Philly, stuff like that, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Look.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Look. D-Web, I would say this. I would agree with you, right? But I'll also go back to what Kirk Murray said, right? Look, check this out. If you can bring in a Cousins and get a draft pick for them to sit for a year, just like Dre from the Bay said, let that quarterback sit for a year behind a Kirk Cousins. The only reasons I don't like, the one big reason that I don't like Cousins is because I don't think he'll make it through an entire season. Atlanta's offensive line is not built to hold up to pass rushers.
Then that's a wrap.
Yeah.
If you don't have a line, Kirk Cousins not your dude.
Yeah, he's gonna be getting hit.
He's going. But with them weapons they have that you guys just named, Kirk Cousins will have a Pro Bowl season because he'll be picked. Because I saw it, when that's one of the losses the Niners had, and I think it's a Sunday night. I want a Sunday or Monday night, and he picked our secondary apart with a rookie without Jefferson. They had a rookie I ain't never heard of that was killing us, and because if you give Kirk Cousins time, he will pick you apart. Now, like you said,
Dre, he needs time.
But see, when you said you don't have no line, then I said no. Kirk ain't your dude. If you don't have a line, Kirk Cousins not your guy. I agree with D Webb. To me, Cousins is a guy that you get if you think you're a quarterback away from going to the. So the first thing I would look at is of the playoff teams in both leagues, which one was shaky a quarterback. And I don't know if any of the playoff teams were, I guess you could say, if you depends on what you think about Baker Mayfield, you could maybe say them, but everybody else, and the Steelers, I think quiet as kept, Kirk Cousins on the Steelers is
a problem.
It's not a bad move.
Don't send him over there. Don't send him over there.
Because you don't want to face that. Because he is one of those guys that, like Kirk was saying, when you look back at his numbers, you go, "Wow, I didn't realize this dude was putting in that kind of work." But he really is. He could, but just like Matt said, he'll throw that interception at the wrong time in the wrong game, and we
don't need none of that.
Who was that they blew that lead to against a couple years ago? Was it Buffalo?
Oh, that was the Colts, wasn't it?
The Colts, yeah.
Wasn't it the Colts?
They were up by like 4 touchdowns. 40. And then go ahead.
Let me say this. Everybody talk about Kirk Cousins. I would hate for him to go to Atlanta because I think Atlanta got enough weapons for him to excel.
Yep.
But everybody
Mhm.
talking about Kirk Cousins leaving. Let's talk about Justin Jefferson. How he gonna feel about that? Kirk Cousins leave. Is he gonna sign an extension? Well, he's back.
He's gonna sign that extension. That
Who would
franchise
they
not
bring
letting
in?
Justin Jefferson go, man.
Who would they bring in?
They're gonna have to separate. And on top of that, Daniel Hunter, the edge rusher, he's a free agent also with Minnesota. Don't forget about that.
But see, is this Justin Jefferson's first big money?
Yeah.
So I don't think he cares. It's about getting back.
My boy Justin Jetta already said he out there trying to break the bank. So he's definitely going to do it. And I just don't see that organization. They're not going to let Justin Jefferson walk. I
don't think he want to leave. I think it's about if he can get that bag, if this is his first big check, he'll do that, stay there a couple years, and then fight his way out. That's what the young cats do.
He'll get the bag anywhere he go. That's what I'm saying. He gets the bag anywhere he go.
That's
so
they can get a veteran like you can look at Russ. Who else is out there that's just got they can bring
Baker
Mayfield.
Baker is a free agent. I think Tampa Bay is probably going to sign him.
I think so too.
But they can get Jimmy G. Jimmy G gonna be.
Oh Lord! He said Jimmy G.
No man.
After he gets off his suspension, how he get suspended for performance enhanced? I'm like, well, what did it enhance?
What did he do?
Wasn't it for the? I think it was probably for the injury. You know what I mean? To speed up his injury. I think
He
that's what it
making-
was, right?
He got it
It
so
had
he
to be
look
what
better
it
in
was.
tank top, man.
He's at the Broncos all the damn time. He getting it free in Vegas everywhere he goes.
One of my boys was like, "Was it performance enhancing on or off the field?" You know, he been hooking up with the porn stars.
Right.
What y'all
God.
think about? What y'all think about? JJ McCarthy, Michigan. Where you think he landed? And how about what's the other big quarterback? Bo Nix.
Out of Oregon, yeah.
And then there's another dude, the dude out of North Carolina. What's his name?
Mays.
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 Nah.
Okay. So you say no? Okay.
Yeah, he turns the ball over. He's overrated. Me, this
Okay.
me personally. Yeah, I think he's overrated.
I think so too. See, I was trying to tell
Yeah.
somebody like, they got him coming off the board as the fourth quarterback, and I
Right.
don't really see him coming off the board as number 4 to me. But it really depends on how the value. I think the Patriots have the 4th pick, so it really depends on how they value him at that point in time, right? Let's just say the landslide is Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and then let's say Marvin Harrison. I don't know. I don't see Arizona really drafting a quarterback. It's possible, but if Marvin Harrison comes off at 3, it depends on how the Patriots value Drake May over what I would say a Bo Nix. Now, I would say this. I think Penix Jr. had the best combine out of everybody that threw. Touch on the ball looked really nice. I understand the combine is the combine, but man, just the touch on the ball, his accuracy, and that's coming from a left-handed quarterback, which you really don't have success from a lot of left-handed quarterbacks in the league, right? And he looks pretty good. So I could see Bo Nix coming off really early. I would say the top 10. I could see Nix coming off.
Can I ask this real quick? So it sounds like we're kind of on a consensus of Chicago. Are we on a consensus that Chicago is trading Fields?
Oh yes, it only makes sense.
They
only makes sense.
Because my question would be, if they were going to trade the pick and keep Fields, who would move up there to do it? But it sounds like we're thinking that most of us thinking they're going to trade Fields, right?
I'm not on that.
Yeah,
you're not.
I'm not on. Nah, I'm not.
You
on
on?
You know why I'm on? I think I totally agree with everybody said, man. Like the relationship is fractured there.
It's done.
I don't think you can
That's
even
what-
salvage that.
Done.
And Chicago know that there's leverage to this game. It's supply and demand.
Absolutely.
A lot of people want Justin Fields right now.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people feel like they can win with Justin Fields. They feel like he's a good quarterback. So their supply, or the demand for Justin Fields is high, and they know that if I trade him, I'm gonna get 3 picks in the first round because somebody's giving up a first round pick for Justin Fields, right? So that's the only reason I believe that.
Did they keep their coaching staff? They kept their same coaching staff.
Who knows?
Oh,
People don't be paying attention no more because that's not bad.
Right?
yeah, because it really don't matter. Chicago hasn't had since like Lovie Smith, I guess. I don't know when they've had a teaching coaching staff. Okay, so okay.
Hey, look, this just in, right? This just in breaking news. Browns trade for Jerry Jeudy. Broncos agreed to receive a 2024 5th rounder, 6th rounder for the wide receiver. So the Browns,
He didn't do anything.
Exactly, yo.
He barely made it into the end zone. Like, I think he made it into the end zone twice.
Right.
Hey, look.
Right.
Sometimes
relationships.
Sometimes they see something, man. It's like you look and you like, man, if I had dude, because he got the size. That's a big dude, man. And
Man,
so
I had him on my fantasy league the whole season. I sat him down most of the league. Most of the season and traded him at the end of it.
Hey, I'm gonna say this real quick too. One of the things we gotta check out too, Mr. C, is the politics behind this game, right? So a lot of times, who gonna put butts in seats? You know, is it gonna be big enough that I could put a draw? And I'm telling you, I like Kirk Cousins. but he's not. If I say, hey, we got Kirk Cousins, y'all come, it's like, yeah.
No,
They're
we
not gonna,
Right.
you know,
We're not
they,
gonna take
but
it.
Atlanta's one of those teams that don't have that problem. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's politics behind this game, man.
But Fields
And-
coming
Absolutely.
back to Atlanta would put a buzz
Plus with them young
in
guys,
Atlanta.
you know what I'm saying? It's a lot about this.
No
this
Cap,
game, man.
no Cap is the true Falcon fan. Am I right on that?
Yes, sir.
With Fields
Yeah.
put a buzz. In
Oh,
Absolutely.
nah, man, come on, the city
Yeah.
going crazy.
City going on.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm hoping for all that don't go down because me and No Captain we got a bet we've been doing for the last
4 or
Oh.
5 years.
year, and I don't want him to get no good quarterback. Keep the quarterbacks they got right now. You know what I mean? And then give me some money.
See, what's the
Yeah.
bet? Who has the better record?
Oh man, he can't be for the
we do
last.
25. We do $25 per game.
Oh,
We did 50 last. We did 25 last. Well, we did 25.
Yeah, 25 per game. So Atlanta win, we break even. We won't lose, we break even. And one win, one lose, that's $50. You gotta pay out every week.
oh yeah, you've been feasting over the last few
Breaking it
years.
off. Breaking it
Niners.
off. Here, breaking it off. Oh my God.
See,
I had to
Falcons.
call him a couple times to check on them, you know what I mean? After the game, like, because it was some games they should have won. They was in,
Yeah.
and the quarterback gave it away. You know what I mean? I was just like, damn,
Yeah.
Atlanta's gonna win it.
Yeah.
I turned it back on.
D-Web.
Man.
Look.
D-Web,
This
see,
is
that's
real.
that politics you were talking about. See, he don't want Fields to go to Atlanta because he want to keep his pockets fat.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. But no. Look, Drake. If Fields comes back to Atlanta,
It's
one
gonna
thing we
explode.
know Arthur Blank for is, I mean, I don't know if the guy is really concerned with winning the Super Bowl as he is selling tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? I'm
They
telling
go
you,
hand in
everybody in Atlanta know it too.
They go hand in hand. They come together. Yep.
And Atlanta is a
Yep.
party city. If you bring this guy back to Atlanta, oh man, Falcon Stadium going crazy, baby.
Yeah.
telling
Yeah,
you.
it's
But
turned
that's
up.
back to Kurt Murder's thing about guys coming home.
Yeah.
You know,
It's gonna be a big distraction for him, yo.
Exactly.
But
He
see,
got-
it's easier to accept all these young guys with their growing pains because the city excited.
Right.
If you bring Kirk Cousins in,
Exactly.
it's like, okay,
Good point.
y'all on the clock. You know
Right.
what I'm saying with him because he ain't.
Got to
You
do
know what I'm saying?
That's,
It's
a good,
like,
that's
yo,
a very good point.
It's game time with him, man. Like, yo, what we doing? But
That's
you
a
bring
very
Justin
good point.
Fields, they allow it. The city gonna blow. As long as they selling money, making money, they willing to lose when they making money. But you don't want to lose and you ain't making no money.
Right.
You know
Look,
what
let me
I'm
tell
saying?
y'all how it. I'm
What
gonna
they
tell
say.
y'all how it work in Atlanta, right? I had season tickets for like 3 years in a row. I cut that shit off real. Excuse my language. I'm a little passionate about what I'm saying,
Right.
but I stopped that real quick. Now the season tickets in Atlanta, you got the season ticket, and then you got what's called a personal seat license,
Yes.
Right.
Mhm.
right?
PSL.
So you getting billed on both ends. It's a big time expense. If
Yeah.
you're winning, bro, I done seen people walking out the stadium throwing their jerseys on the ground. The whole street is littered with jerseys, right? You gotta they gotta do something this year.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's that politics of that game, man.
You know, like they say, you rather if you're going, you want to at least be exciting if you're going to be losing. You can't be boring and
Absolutely.
losing.
Exactly.
And so, but you're right. If you get Cousins, he ain't going to bring no excitement unless they're winning.
Exactly.
Now, if he starts, you're winning and you 8-2 at one point. Now they're like, oh, okay. Then it'll bring the excitement. But
Right.
mhm.
I'm back with you.
I
Let me
just
ask
want to
you another
see.
question.
I just want to see. I want to see the Atlanta develop a quarterback. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like outside, like
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I was a Matt Ryan fan. I thought Matt Ryan was a really good quarterback, right?
Was he good?
I think that was probably the only quarterback Atlanta ever developed, right? Like,
No.
Michael Vick.
Vic,
Vic was an athlete. Vic did what he wanted to do.
Steve
Y'all didn't
Barkowski.
develop Vic. Who?
Yeah.
Steve Barkowski. Oh, I'm going back about 20, 30 years.
man, that's before your time. You're going back in my
Oh,
generation.
you mean game manager? Right?
Baby.
Game manager. You didn't. You know what I mean?
No, you're right. You're right.
Who was the quarterback? No, it was That went to the Super Bowl with a Dirty Bird. Was that Chandler?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we
Jeff
didn't
George was
develop him.
good with them.
Who?
They got Jeff George. Jeff George was good with them.
Oh, Jeff George.
He
He
was
was on his
good.
last leg. He was on his last leg when he was
Yeah, one of
But
his
he was still
15
throwing that
teams.
thing though. He was still throwing that thing.
I just
So
see
let
like,
me
now,
ask-
like that's my. Go ahead, C. Go ahead.
Nah, go ahead. Get your word in. Go ahead.
Like, that's
Go
just my only thing. I want Justin Fields to go to an organization or with a good coaching staff that can help develop him because he is a little rough around the edges, right?
Mhm.
Like I don't really know if he can read defense that well, and sometimes it shows on tape. So I think he needs to go somewhere that somebody can develop him really well. I don't know if Atlanta has good coaching staff as far as like developing quarterbacks. That's something No Capper can look into and see, how that fits out. Like I don't know what y'all do over there, man. Like I ain't even gonna lie. I turn for the y'all games anytime I see y'all on. Scare me.
Look, I watch it for the entertainment factor because we paint a Picasso when it comes to losing.
Yeah.
Right? We find creative ways of losing.
Creative ways, man. I promise you.
One quick thing too, though. The good thing about a young quarterback is a good tight end.
Yeah.
That's their best friend. Young quarterback,
Mhm.
good tight end, and so Kyle Pitts is good.
Yep.
But they don't
He's real
utilize
good.
him, man.
Yeah.
And you got
exactly.
and the other thing is a running back, and you got that too.
Yeah.
You got two
What
running backs.
made y'all
You got
go out there and
because you
get?
got Algier.
Yes, sir.
Well, I just asked that question. What made the organization go out there and get Desmond Ritter?
He was cheap.
Out of Louisville, right? Or Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, right?
He had just built the
Cincinnati, I
stadium.
believe.
Yeah.
He had just built the stadium, and Arthur Blank needed to make that money back. Come on, man. That man is a hustler.
Man, he was trash in college.
Trash. Never heard of him.
Trash.
I was
He was trash.
That was that year that I think Cincinnati was trying. They were close to being eligible for the for the playoffs.
Playoffs.
Right.
Yup.
Right.
But then they got worked by somebody. I want to say because I thought they went like 10-1 or something. I mean, they had a really good season, but
Mhm.
again,
Hey, man.
they beat Notre Dame, which is what I think got your boy the job at Notre Dame because he was the coach at Cincinnati. What's the brother Freeman? Is it Freeman? Yeah.
Freeman.
Look, Riddler's my man. Don't talk about Riddler like that, man. I hope he come back.
Hey,
Start-
man.
start-
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you get all that money in your pocket, yo.
So look, let me ask y'all this. There's a couple more free agents out there we ain't talked about. Christian Wilkins, the defensive tackle with Miami. You still got Chase Young out there. Leonard Williams with Seattle. And Xavier Howard with Miami, the cornerback.
Oh, that's right. Yo.
If he get on a good team, woo! What y'all thought about that? And Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's still out there.
Yeah, Derrick
Derrick Henry's still out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, he's rumored to be going to the Cowboys because Pollard's a free agent also.
Yep.
So
Cowboys.
They don't want to see. Hey, let me tell you something. You don't want to see him put that star on his helmet, man. Y'all don't
Yeah.
want to see that.
Well, that may be
I'm not a Cowboys fan, but you don't want to see him put that star on his helmet, man. He gonna change the game over there.
Who you talking about?
Derrick
man?
Henry.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah. Oh, that's a fact. That's a fact.
He gonna change the game
him
if
to
he
go.
go.
Yeah, I don't want him going to the Cowboys because
Right.
that gives them that physicality that they don't have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because now you can just, if Dak is looking shaky, well, you can just
Yeah,
hand that ball off to Derrick.
he covers mistakes. He's gonna
Yeah.
help Dak. He covers mistakes. Dak shouldn't have as many turnovers because he don't have to
Right.
feel he got to force it.
So
You know,
I
you
need
can
that
run the
not
ball
to
with
happen
I agree.
at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah,
But
Yeah, I
that's
hope that
a good. I was wondering where you guys thought would be a good landing spot for Henry, and actually that's a perfect spot
Baltimore.
for him. So, Baltimore. Ooh. Ooh.
He been playing
Listen,
Baltimore.
remember now, we went after him. We went after him
Yeah.
last year before the trade deadline really hard. You know what I mean? So they didn't want to give him up. So I could see, man, I'm not even going to lie to you. I would love to have either one of those running backs. I would love to have Henry, Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs. I would even take Swift. I don't know if I would really.
Pollard. You got Eckler out there too.
Eckler.
I think
Yep.
Pollard
Joe Mixon. I'm
overrated,
telling you,
man.
going to be out there.
Bullshit.
I
No,
think
I don't.
Pollard-
That fourth quarter,
Pollard
you
is
need to be worried about Pollard.
You think
Pollard-
Pollard?
He's a third down back. He's not
Yeah,
an
I don't think he's
every
a. Yeah, he's not an every down back.
back.
No,
Totally
Right.
agree.
absolutely.
Totally
That's
agree.
where he got exposed. He was fine
Absolutely.
switching off with Zeke, but as soon as
Yup.
it was his job. That's
Yeah.
where because he's just not he's not like everybody say he's not an every down back. He's a good change of pace guy, but
It's different when the defense is doing like this to now they on you like this. I'm stopping you. You know what I'm saying? It's different when you focus on a cat.
Yeah.
You know, it's different. It hit
Where-
different.
whereas Derrick Henry, it don't make no difference.
It don't even matter because everybody know when they're
getting
in the
way,
game.
you're getting run down. That's
You can
it.
focus on me all you want. I'm still
Yeah.
getting these yards. You know,
Don't
and
get that stiff arm.
That's
You
it.
can-
A lot of cats, to be honest with you, man, a lot of cats don't want that, man. They don't want
No,
that smoke, man.
Especially
They don't
DB.
They
No.
talk about
Especially
it, but they don't want that,
Yeah.
man.
yeah, nobody trying to be on no highlight, getting
Yeah.
their face
But
getting
just,
smashed
but
into the
just
turf.
think about this.
They
What
got
if,
family watching and stuff.
think about this, you don't even have to get the stiff arm. I wouldn't really want him falling on me, man.
No, that's a big
It's a
man.
big dude. I don't want to hit you
That's
wrong
what
and
we
we
calling
go,
on. Yeah.
man.
I played corner. I'm not a big dude. I'm only 5'7", but I know this. I would have been making some serious business decisions if Derrick Henry coming at me. Man, it's like, oops, oh my hammy.
Oh, trip over your foot or
oops,
something. Oh, shit. I missed the tackle. Oh, shit.
because, I mean,
He started seeing them arm tackles.
when you
When-
see those pictures of him next to Mark Ingram,
Yeah.
both Alabama backs, but Mark Ingram was like a little kid compared to Derrick. Derrick Henry is like what, 6'3", 240,
Oh, 6'5", I believe.
and running like 4'4".
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Freight
match.
train, man.
No,
Got
No.
problem.
I'm good.
Mhm.
Got
You
problem.
gotta get him before he gets started. Once you start moving, okay.
It's a wrap.
I need him.
Yeah.
I need him not to have a star on his helmet next year. That's what I need.
Where y'all got Barkley falling though? I mean, look. First of all, how do you even
Baltimore.
evaluate him? What's the value of him right now though after the injuries?
High
They
as
said
hell.
the Eagles.
Good.
They said the
I don't
Eagles
think
talking
he's that
about
good.
talking to him.
You don't think Saquon Barkley is that good?
Nope.
Not with after that. I think that
Nope.
he is more prone
Nope.
to injury now.
I think he's done, K Murder. I don't think he's that good at all. I don't think he's that good at all.
Let me explain something to y'all. When you losing, them injuries add up. When you winning, them injuries go away. He's been losing for a long period of time. You don't want to stay out there. You losing. You know what I mean? Hey,
Mr. C,
Good
yeah,
point.
prime example. Christian McCaffrey.
exactly.
Oh, he'd always hurt
Yup.
till he went
Yup.
to a team. How many games did he miss with the 49ers in a year and a half?
None.
None.
Yup.
I tell you what. I think Saquon Barkley. I don't even want to say he won't make another Pro Bowl, but I'm telling you, to me, he is. Only reason I want to say overrated because that's disrespectful. But he ain't that dude, man. To me,
Beware, watch this. He was the only person on the Giants for the last 2 years. Like throughout injuries and everything.
Yeah.
You would think the quarterback is number one. It's Saquon Barkley. He's
Right.
the face of that team, right? He drives that engine. They have a terrible offensive line. You know,
Right.
like terrible quarterback. Like
yeah.
what else can he do? I think you put him. Look, watch this. You take a Saquon Barkley and you insert him into Dallas. Oh man, please. Best offensive line in the league. You know, he get to run the ball.
But Kurt, I could run behind Dallas line. Give me
That's what I'm
that.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
I can run behind. Give me 3 weeks, man.
Gotta stretch it out. You
Give
know?
me 3 weeks, man. I can run behind Dallas line, man.
Well, how
I'm
many
gonna tell y'all a
Okay,
sleeper.
though.
I tell you,
How many times can you run throughout the whole game? You want to go just one really ain't gonna count now. We need about 5-10 runs out of you.
Yeah, I just
That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. I'm running strictly
one series.
red zone, 1 or 2 yards out. I need to go. Look, if I break it open, I'm gonna run out of bounds, man. Because
Do y'all think that San Diego's gonna keep Eckler?
No.
No.
We already
Really?
Okay. Well, because you put because see, remember, and Mr. C, you know about Harbaugh. He liked to run that rock. You put Saquon on the Chargers.
Yeah, boy.
You know, see, 'cause that Chargers. See, you know, Harbaugh's one of those. He's a quick strike dude. To me, he has a life expectancy of 4 or 5 years in the NFL because his rah-rah stuff wears out. That's why I always thought he was going to be better in college because he'll turn your franchise around, but you better win a championship within that 4 or 5 year span because you got to strike while his iron's hot. But you give him Derrick Henry or Saquon to go with Herbert now.
Yeah.
You know, it depending on what you think about Herbert. You know, some people think he's overrated.
I like him.
I like him.
Yeah,
I do too.
I do too. I think with Harbaugh is going to the Chargers are going to be a force to deal with. The problem they have is their division. There's a gentleman
Kansas
number
City
15 that Kansas City, which is a spot for like Ridley, Kansas City. You know, I think they're gonna pick up a free agent to go with the young boy. Who's the young cat there? Rice? Is it Rice? Did they have Kansas City?
Yeah.
Kansas City? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The receiver.
Yeah.
Man, you know what though, man? Like they in a bad way though, man. Like they're in a bad way. Especially the Chargers. So these are like 5 teams right here that are over the cap right now, right? That they gotta fix their cap before they can even start making 21 million, and that's after they release Xavier Howard, right? They sitting at 21 million over the cap. The Chargers 21 million over the cap. The Bills 14 million over the cap.
Oh, that's why they dumping
Saints,
everybody.
10 million. That's why they burning bridges, and that was after they let go of those 3 players, right? They were, I think before I looked at it yesterday or the day before yesterday, they were like 40 something million over the cap. 49 is not bad. 49 is at 205,000 over the cap. Baltimore at 108,000 over the cap. You know, but those teams are in the chart. The Chiefs, good night, man. They can't really. They only have $1 million towards the cap. You see what I'm saying? So like they're paying. Kelsey's getting paid. Freaking Patrick Mahomes got the largest contract in NFL history, right? Like, and then you got to turn around and figure out how you're gonna pay Chris Jones. So they can't. Kansas City ain't gonna be able to get no free agents. Now they're gonna boast themselves up in a draft. You know what I mean?
Right.
But unless they're gonna start cutting people, like they don't have the money to get any free agents at all.
But how they gonna sign Chris Jones? I'm being
That's what I'm saying. So you gotta think.
Mahomes or somebody about that. Mahomes or someone probably like to restructure a deal.
Restructure their contract.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the only way.
Yep.
You know?
That's the way you do it.
I don't even think they can. I don't want to say they can't touch Mahomes, but he was on a 10-year, $400 million contract. Like it ain't much more restructure you can do on that contract.
Mahomes can live off his endorsement. You know?
Yes.
That's one of them boardroom conversations where they be like, "Look here, man. On this side, you can get some more money. How about you just restructure? You know,
right.
But you know, and we'll get you bread on the back end, man. You know, but that's the only way because there's no money, man. The money not there.
Start dumping some of those players, D-Web, man. I see like those teams like the Bills dumping players, Miami dumping players, Chargers, they're dumping players. The Chiefs, they don't even have players to dump, but on the defense side of the ball, right? Like, because they're not getting rid of Kelsey, they're not gonna get rid of Chris Jones. We know this. They're gonna find a way to pay him, but they're gonna lose some players on the defensive side of the ball for sure.
How much is that? How much is Patrick's old number one target, the receiver down in Miami?
Oh,
Tyreek.
Tyreek. Yeah. How much he getting paid? He got to be taking up a good
he was. Yep. He was up there. He was. So 20 was number one. He was the second.
Yeah.
He was up there. He was up like 20-something million.
20-something million.
Yeah.
What's up?
They got a
Back
good
to
deal.
KC.
What you say? See,
They signed Drew Quanwell to a 3-year, $19 million deal before they signed Chris Jones. I didn't understand that. Chris Jones is more worthy than this damn linebacker. He just signed to a 3-year, $19 million
They figure they
deal.
don't got the money to sign him, man. They gonna have to cut some players. I'm telling you, he's gonna get signed if they value him like that, or they're gonna release him because, like I said, now we just paid freaking Justin Matabike $98 million. So he's gonna have $105 million contract. Now they gotta figure out where to get the money from.
Yeah, they put him on that franchise tag last year. He didn't sign it until late.
And they can't franchise him again.
Right. They put it on Steve. Steve's a franchise this year. So let me ask y'all this. What new coaches or teams you think is going to be a sleeper team this year, or what team you think is going to fall off?
Buddy.
I'm going to pass. Give y'all time to think about it. Sleeper team for me, I think it's the Rams. I think they made some power moves and they're going to get a little better. The team I think is going to fall off is Buffalo Bills. I'm putting it out there. You heard it from me first. I think Buffalo's going to fall off this year. Yeah, I think they ran out of juice. Diggs, I'm thinking Diggs is going to be out of there pretty soon. He's not getting the ball. He's not doing anything in fantasy. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But I'm going to pass to Mike. D-Web, you look like you got something you want to say?
No, I'm with you on that. I think Buffalo, I think that train is stopped. You know, I don't know if Diggs is going to be there, but, you know, again, man, I find myself keep trying to stop saying overrated because it's overused, but Josh Allen ain't that dude to me, man. Josh Allen ain't that dude, man. He ain't, you know, he just, you know, you look, one of the things about Michael Penix that y'all mentioned earlier, he's good on deep throws. He's good on deep throws, but in this league, he's going to have to be accurate on some of the other throws. And that, to me, is what he messed up in that Michigan game. Because you got to move the chains. Guys ain't always just be able to outrun cats. He's great in deep throws. Josh Allen, the same way to me. Josh Allen is good because he got a cannon of an arm. But can you just throw an out route over here? You know what I'm saying? And I just think he's, you know, if he played basketball, he'd be a dude to dunk all the time, man. It's like, man. He dunk all the time.
He ain't skilled.
Yeah, but he ain't got no game like that.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah, he ain't got no game.
He's Brett Favre 2.0.
Yeah, and he wants to be. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But Brett Favre threw a lot of interceptions. They always overlook that. You know what I'm saying?
Josh Allen do too. Yeah.
Brett Favre threw a lot of interceptions.
I like that. I like that dude. He's an easy dude that dunks all the time. He ain't got he can't dribble.
If you saw him, he'd be like, boom. He's like, man, but he come in the game and he miss layups. You know what I'm saying? He
shoot air balls.
Yeah, he don't have no. So I think he's overrated, man. But I love that. I love you with Buffalo gonna fall off. Yeah.
What sleeper team you got?
I want to see with Washington only because I want to see what Dan Quinn's gonna do. It's his second time around, and I'm just interested in what. And I think Murder. Didn't you say they picked up Zach Ertz, or didn't somebody say they picked up a tight end or something?
Yeah,
Zach Ertz.
So young quarterbacks always rely on tight ends, man. And if they can do that, I think I just want to see sleeper team what Washington do. But you know, it ain't really a sleeper team because you know they record been so bad so long, man. If they just win at 500, they all right. You know. But I just want to see. I want to see what Dan Quinn does, man, because he showed that he can coach that game, man.
No, Captain, what you got, Put?
Man, you already know my sleeper team, baby. You
already.
I like that.
So depending on what we do at the QB position, I got the Falcons as my sleeper team, and then I'm really looking at Detroit making some waves next year, man, because they played some good ball during the season. They had some uneventful decisions at the coaching position, but I think if it wasn't for that, the season could have turned out anyway. So I'm gonna roll with Detroit going back, and then I'm gonna roll with Atlanta for my sleeper team.
What team you got falling off though?
The 49ers.
Oh, shots
I
fired.
know what's coming. I know what's coming, yo.
See, I was right. We were so close to be your boys. We was
You know that's a political answer. I need my money back.
yeah.
Oh,
Right.
I need my money back. I don't know what you're talking about.
But it's an easy choice because their bar is Super Bowl or bust. So if anything less than Super Bowl, they didn't fell off. So
that's it. I started to say Baltimore, but I like the quarterback in Baltimore.
That's what happens when you at the top, though.
yeah, exactly.
Whole lot of hate.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Drake, who you got, man? What's going on with you?
Well, I have two sleeper teams. Well, I have an open sleeper team that where it depends on where. If Fields goes to Atlanta, I'm as much as I hate to admit it now after his 5 shots fired, but I'm with no cap, and I look and see because that division is wide open. And so 10 wins, 11 wins you that division. I mean, they won it with who? Tampa won it with what 9 wins or something this year. So yeah. I think that's a sleeper. So but it depends on where him or Cousins go. That team is a sleeper team to me because I think those guys can make a difference. I like Fields going to Atlanta for the same reason Kurt Murder said, is that I want to see that team. I want to see them develop and these guys grow together. As far as fall off, I'm on that Buffalo train too. I'm not a big Josh Allen dude either. I just think, I ain't trying to go there, but if he was Jaquan Allen, he would get a lot more heat. Okay? Because that dude makes some bad decisions from the quarterback position. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to be politically correct here in this election year. But it's like he's a great athlete because let's just be honest. They would be like, "Oh, he's a great athlete, but he doesn't read defenses. He doesn't do." But everybody he puts up big numbers, but I think he got a lot of juice off that, which was one of the greatest football games I watched. Him and Mahomes duking it out a few years ago. That was a great game. The one that changed the overtime rules, which cost me a Super Bowl. But that's another story. That's how the rules changed because they both were going back and forth, and he looked great. And there are those times when Allen looks like he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, but a lot of times he doesn't. And I just think they're the way they looked against Kansas. There was a point in that season where they had kind of shut it down, but then they got hot towards the end. Because remember, they weren't even going to make the playoffs last year. Right. And then they kind of got a second wind. And I just think with all the cap issues and the people that they're having to cut, and I'm with you, Mr. C. I don't know. I think I'm looking out for Diggs to start saying, nobody, we playing in that weather. I can see him wanting to go someplace else, where he ain't freezing to death in December, January. And it's fine if you're winning. And they have been winning, but I just think if their season starts off shaky, I can see him saying, "Get me out of here." Yeah, but that's my thing. I'm going in. If the Falcons get Fields, I'm going Atlanta as a sleeper and Buffalo to fall out.
I think we all play football growing up, right? Yes, it's harder to play football in cold weather. You know what I mean?
Oh,
You don't want to get hit. You don't want to hit nobody. Everything hurts. Yes. And then when it's real cold in Buffalo, you know, you run it real slow. You run it fast, but you're running slow motion because that damn cold, them joints and everything, it ain't working the same, man, in that cold weather.
Yeah.
But before I get to Kurt Murder, Larry, every time you come on the show, man, you got a new hat and shirt on. I keep noticing that.
Man. Listen, man, I got a long lineage, man. I got a long lineage. You forget that I went to Falcons games for 3 seasons. We dress up down here, bro. We rep.
Man,
I was impressed when I went to the game. Just to see, we went last year.
Yeah, it's nice stadium.
To the 49ers. Now I thought I was at Levi's because there was a whole lot of Niners fans there.
49ers took over that whole stadium.
But too bad we lost to the Falcons. But you know, but I was impressed with that stadium for I mean, so that's why, you know, that's why I was asking you, would Fields create excitement? Because that stadium, I can see it rocking when you.
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine what it was like down here when Vic was here.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, look. That's a part. That's really. I know we need to move on, but that's really a part of the fun in Atlanta. Atlanta is a melting pot, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got more people from outside of Atlanta than you do actually living in Atlantans living in Atlanta. So when New Orleans come to the stadium, they outside with horns, bro. The whole stadium is lit up with New Orleans, right? When the 49ers come, when the Cowboys come, I mean, it's just it's that type of vibe, right?
Yeah. Chocolate City, baby.
Yeah,
Chocolate City.
It's beautiful. I admit.
Yeah. Kurt Murder, you good?
It looked like we lost him for a minute.
Kurt Murder, internet might be.
No, he just turned the camera off. He's still on.
Yeah.
He just turned the camera off.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Dre.
Oh no. I was just gonna say it looks like he's on mute, but yeah, go ahead.
He's on mute. But I think I'm gonna add another team to my list since we waiting for Kurt Murder. Another team I think that might fall off. Jacksonville Jaguars, man. I don't know, man.
I don't like that QB.
They fly out under the radar. They was balling this year, but it was under the radar. But then
with that QB,
they can't win games. I don't know. That division, that whole division over there, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Houston is a sleeper team. I forgot about Houston.
Yeah,
they're a sleeper team.
Yeah.
Team. But who else in that division? Houston, Tennessee, Jacksonville. I'm missing somebody.
Indianapolis.
The Colts.
Mm-hmm. Man, I just think that Trevor Lawrence is overrated. Man. Anytime we're talking about Jacksonville, I think that quarterback is overrated. I think that there was a bunch of hype around him coming into the league, and he hadn't done a lot to prove himself. He looked like a stick figure out there, man. You hit him the wrong way, he out the game. And there's a lot of people placing stock in that position and expecting him to excel at that role, but I just don't see it.
But he's durable. You don't miss games. You don't miss games.
I think he's a guy that could probably do better elsewhere. I ain't really throwing a towel on him yet because I actually thought he was overrated. And to me, he proved me wrong because he's played better than I thought he was. Because I thought he was overrated coming out of college. Yeah. But he actually showed me that he can play, man. If he get time, I think I ain't gonna throw the towel in on him yet. But I was with you.
He's from Georgia. He's from Georgia, right? Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, him and Fields were like the 1 and 2.
So I thought he was overrated then, but he showed me that he can play, man.
He still got to prove some things to me. With that arm, he still got to prove some things with that arm.
I can dig it.
Yeah. Welcome back, Kurt Murder.
Yeah, man. Sorry about that, man. My laptop died.
Oh, it's all good. What you got for your sleeper team and your team you think gonna fall off?
All right, so like I think I want to go with 2 sleeper teams, man. You know how this works out, but I like the Commanders, man. I think D-Web said it earlier, man. I think Commanders definitely could be a really good sleeper team because nobody wins that division consecutively any year, right? So somebody can come out of that division. And the Commanders actually has like $91 million under the cap, so they can go out there and spend some money and get some quality players over there, right? Definitely got to see what Dan Campbell or Quinn, coaching look like there, right? I don't know if Washington is just a bad team or they were under bad leadership. So we'll get to see, right? Definitely was the owner. He was terrible. Man, my second sleeper team, and I don't even think they should be considered a sleeper, is them Houston Texans, man. Like, jeez, man. CJ Stroud and the weapons that he have, the defense, right? Offense. One thing he's missing is a running back. You get him a running back, a high quality. Now that would be a good landing spot for Saquon Barkley.
Yeah,
great landing spot.
Yeah,
okay, Tony Pollard or anybody, right?
Yeah.
You give him a good running back. Anybody, man.
You just nailed it. That's what I watched them. I said they are running back away from being real dangerous.
Yep.
Yeah, good call.
Yes, sir.
Great call.
My fall off teams, man. Here go my fall off teams, and I know this first one is a far-fetched one, man. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. It's far-fetched, man. But ever since they beat us, I got them marked on our calendar. I got them circled, and I'm telling you, that is an L right there. Now, the reason why I said it's going to be a fall-off year for them is because, one, the Raiders are going to get better, right? The Raiders have been getting better under Antonio Pierce, right? And then the Chargers, and the Raiders beat the Kansas City Chiefs every year. So the Chargers is the one that's struggling with them, but now they have Jim Harbaugh there. I think Jim Harbaugh is going to be able to take the Chargers over the top of beating the Chiefs, which that is probably what the Chargers need, and it's going to possibly knock the Chiefs out of playoff contention, possibly, right? Because the AFC is tough. You're going to get your Buffaloes going every year. I know y'all not really big on Josh Allen, but Buffalo is going to go every year as long as that division is that bad, right? Miami is probably going to go every year. 9 times out of 10, we're going to put 2 to 3 people out of our division. So Kansas City this year, I think, will be on the outside looking in, also because of their cap space and not ability or availability of a lot of veteran players. Keep staying there. Then I got the Eagles, man. Got the Eagles. The Eagles is a fall off team this year, man. I think the Eagles they're gonna fall on their face this year. I think it's gonna be. I like Jalen Hurts. I like to see him do well, but I think this is gonna be one of those years where he's gonna kind of get exposed, especially if they get rid of that tush push crap. They get rid of that tush push, he's gonna get exposed this year, man.
Or the league start, or some teams figure out how to stop it. Yeah, it's a wrap.
That's true. Yep. But Tampa Bay is the only team that stopped it twice last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who is that?
Tampa Bay.
Tampa. Okay.
Yep. And that's because they got that big boy, Vita Vega or something.
Yeah.
He's huge. He's a monster, right? And then they just retired Jason Kelsey too. So he was the person running that, right?
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
He just retired, man.
And then the other dude, he ain't. What's the other guy that's coming off like injury that played or hurt all season?
Graham.
Oh, they just re-signed Graham. I'm talking about the other offensive lineman. Oh God.
Oh, Lane
Stevens.
Johnson.
Lane Johnson.
Yeah.
He's another one that's close to having to shut it down because he's had a lot of injuries.
Right.
Didn't they lose the offense coordinator or something like that? Didn't they change coaching?
They changed their offensive coordinator. Yep.
Yeah, so I don't remember the name, but I seem like I seen something like that or saw something like that.
Yeah, didn't they do that like towards the end of the season? Like
something like that. It seemed like they changed coaching or something.
I think that organization is abysmal right now, and I don't know what it is. I've been hearing rumors about what is it, AJ Brown, you know,
Right.
having like these problems, these altercations. I don't know, but it's
That's
something
what it
going
was,
on
too.
with that
Yep.
organization.
Yeah,
You know,
I
it's
heard
definitely
there's some locker room issues going on between Hurts and
Brown.
AJ.
Brown.
Oh, okay.
That's not good.
No.
I got a sleeper team, y'all, and talk about the Jets. But before you comment on that, we got a comment that they asking us the Broncos trade Jerry Jeudy to the Browns. What y'all think? We talked about it earlier, but I guess you missed it. If y'all want to recap it, we can talk about it for a second and then jump into that Jets one.
I think
it's a great move. I think it's a great move for the Broncos. You know what I mean? Like,
there you go.
Not for the Browns.
Yeah, I
it
mean, Jerry
didn't make no
Jeudy.
sense for the Browns to do it.
I mean, he been living off that Alabama stuff for a while now. But
yeah, I just didn't see him get in the end zone enough, man.
Right.
He's not a Mr. Hands type of receiver to me. He hasn't proven himself. Maybe it's because Russell wasn't getting him the ball, but
was he featured as the number one receiver when he was with the Broncos, or was he number two? Was Sutton number one, or was he number one when he was with the Broncos?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Number one.
I think Sutton was
the
number
one receiver.
Yeah. So
That's
if
a
you
good
get
point.
you get Jeudy in Cleveland's offense as number three, he can excel because he's gonna be guarded by somebody that can't guard him. So it might be a win-win situation.
No, it's not like that in the AFC, especially not in our division. Like our division, man, like you got the Steelers, great defense, Ravens, great defense, Bengals, good defense. Even the Cleveland Browns got a good defense. So like he's not gonna come over there and have it easy. It's not gonna happen. You know, I just think from a money standpoint, it was great for the Broncos to do it. You know, they were $85 million over the cap or something like that. Like, get rid of him. Get rid of him. They got like two picks or something like that for
Cooper
for Jerry
wanted Jeudy too.
Amari Cooper, yeah.
Amari Cooper.
Yep, Cooper will be number one. Yep. I like it. I like it there, but I just don't. That don't make the Browns a scary team. You know.
I got them as a sleeper though. Now that I think about it, I don't know if they can be a sleeper
with Deshaun Watson or Joe Flacco. Which quarterback we taking back?
I'm saying with Deshaun Watson. I guess
he can't even say it, man. He can't even say
it because what I'm trying to say is you get Nick. Remember, they gonna get Nick Chubb back now. Whether or not he's gonna be the same Nick Chubb after blowing his knee, and we don't know. Because remember that team lost Chubb, they lost Deshaun, and they lost somebody else. But I'm always holding out hope. Is do we get the Texans Deshaun Watson back ever again?
Never.
No.
Okay.
Never.
Well then no.
Yeah.
Because that Deshaun Watson was on the cusp of stardom. He was bad. Because I remember, I liked him at Clemson, and then when he went to the Texans, he was balling. But I don't know if that's my only concern. I don't think he's ever going to get back to that level.
Now, I will say, my bad, let me just do one little statement. I will say that Jeudy is comparable to an Elijah Moore. If we switching them out, Elijah Moore on Cleveland, like he ain't there. Come on, man. That's a big receiver that didn't do nothing last year. So if we're switching Jeudy out for Elijah Moore, I'll take it. I think it's a good decision.
But I think Elijah Moore is staying there though, right?
Yeah, he's staying
there.
Yeah. So I think it's good, but I don't see like it. I don't see it elevating them just because of that quarterback play. Now I'm a Joe Flacco fan. I was really never a Deshaun Watson fan. I didn't think the Deshaun Watson even definitely didn't qualify for getting that big time pay, right? Like that was absolutely crazy. But I never even valued him as a top 10 quarterback in the league ever. So Now it just depends on what quarterback is back there. That's what I'm saying. Like the Browns could be scary with those weapons, depending on what quarterback is back there. You know,
How Chubb come
and
back
I don't
up
think
there.
it can be Deshaun.
No,
But they're stuck with him.
If
They are.
With that money, he ain't going nowhere.
He ain't going. But you know what? I will say this, Dre, from the Bay. If he don't get it done this year, at least take them to the AFC Championship game. They will cut Deshaun Watson and they will move on away from him. Look, they just did it with Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the almost the same identical contract.
Yeah.
Nah, they ain't identical. I think
Why
Watson
not?
got a little more than.
He got a little more cheese on him.
Yeah, but that's so that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, why am I gonna keep a bad player on this team when I'm already on the books for paying you because I gave you a guaranteed contract? I'm already on the books. I'm not gonna let you sit here and be terrible. I'm gonna get rid of you, and I'm gonna just suffer for the next 2 or 3 years, and then I'll figure out something after that.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I'm a
it makes no
Watson
difference. Why?
Really? Really?
I like him to come out of Clemson. He balled out of Clemson. He balled when he was in high school. Balled at Clemson. When he was in Houston, he balled out every game. And but the thing is,
He did.
he's in Cleveland now. Like I said, weather-wise is different. He's come off his injuries. Body ain't the same no more. But then he's not getting all the massages like he used to back in Houston. So that might make him a little bit too. So you know what I mean? I'm just saying. That's the only difference.
That is the difference.
He need to call a girl and say, I'm sorry, and move out the thing.
It needed to be said. It needed to be
Yeah.
said.
But yeah, I mean, that's as they say, say less.
So about the Jets, what y'all think about the Jets? Aaron Rodgers coming back. I think he got something to prove, man. I think he got something to prove, man.
Bro, he coming off of Achilles, right?
Yeah.
Nah, it was Achilles. Yeah, Achilles. Yeah. But he had that surgery though. That big money surgery took what, 5 months, 6 months?
Man.
Yeah, but
I need Dre Greenlaw to get that surgery.
he doesn't have to be that mobile though. So, you know, his decision making is good enough that he can get rid of the ball. You know, his decision making. He know how to read defenses at an elite level. I just don't really like him. But you know, because to me, he's not worth all the problems that he caused in the locker room and all the stuff that he causes.
All the political stuff.
And his numbers don't back that up to me. You know what I'm saying? He's not worth it. That's why I don't like him.
No capping, you don't like him either?
I wouldn't. I have no fear of the Jets. Period. I don't think they're gonna do nothing. I don't think that the addition of. I don't see him making a big time difference in that organization. He's old, man. He's shelving out. You got all these young players, plus the league has changed. You have to be a mobile quarterback. If you are sitting in that pocket, I mean, you got to be a mix of both, a pocket passer and a little bit of mobility. And I just don't see him. I think that he's lost a step with the last injury and at his age, an Achilles injury at that age. Come on, bro. It ain't the same as Kobe going out as Achilles. This is a quarterback in the NFL.
Would you take him on Atlanta Falcons right now?
No, sir.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I'm see what you hear. I want to make sure. All
No,
right.
sir. Yeah.
Dre from the Bay.
Now wait a minute.
I went.
Oh, hold on. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What my man do on Martin? I don't mean to intercept, but look here. I don't mean to intercept, but if he went to Atlanta, that'd be a whole nother. Because he that dude with those weapons, he ain't Kirk Cousins. Man, I don't know.
He'll burn that thing down, bro. I think.
Right, and look, it'd be immediately.
Yeah, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it,
Yeah.
I don't want to intercept that, but
But you're right. I used to be a big Rodgers dude, and I'm not as much anymore, mainly because I don't like a lot of the stuff he talking off the field.
Political stuff.
You know, and see that some of that stuff is a deal breaker for me. And so for me, I could care less about him. That said, I don't know about the Jets because I just don't. Who's their running back? Now
Bryce, what's the name? What's that?
Yeah,
Bryce Hall.
Your boy,
Bryce
the
Hall.
receiver. What's his name? Is a beast.
They got Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson.
Mhm.
Garrett Wilson's is money. But see, I think a lot of times when we're looking at Aaron Rodgers' age, we're trying to say, well, Tom Brady did it. Well, he ain't Tom freaking Brady because last I checked, he's only been to one Super Bowl. Am I See, everybody is giving Rodgers all this credit, but what have you won, bruh? You won one Super Bowl.
Overrated.
And I think wasn't Charles Woodson the MVP? I don't even think he was the MVP of that Super Bowl. He's a Hall of Famer and that, but comparing him at this age to Tom Brady is not a comparison because Brady had already won multiple championships by the time he got to this age. This dude has not. And so is he now better than he was 10 years ago? No. I just don't know. With the Jets, I don't think so. But like D Webb said, I let him pick that pass and go in for a dunk. That he's absolutely right. You put him with that Falcons team. Now,
yes, sir.
There's a problem because as I recall, No Cash said they ain't got no line.
Bro.
And so that could be a problem.
It wouldn't matter. He get rid of the ball, man.
But you give him those weapons, Atlanta would have to get dealt. They'd be tough to deal with because
for how long though?
Until he gets blasted and get hurt.
But this is winning football. If you get a Super Bowl out of him, you good. You know what I'm saying? That's
we
what
all
I'm
need
saying.
one.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about Kirk Cousins. It's that plug and play. He that kind of guy that you can plug in right now. It's electricity. We're ready to go and give it a shot.
I just don't think the Jets are at that level. To me,
I don't like him with the Jets.
Yeah.
Kurt Murder?
I don't even know if he fits the culture for Atlanta, but I can see what E. Webb is saying with a quick response. Like, you're gonna get instant gratification out of putting him at
absolutely. Yeah.
Well, he come to Atlanta. Them State Farm commercials will be back. He got the what do you call it?
Got the arena next door to him. He be doing videos in front of State Farm Arena.
Right. Yeah. Kurt Murder, what's up, man?
Word
Man, nah, I don't like the Jets. I think I was looking at something. Some of the former Jets player, or they're probably still Jets player, was talking about just the dysfunction of the coaching staff. They said, after Aaron Rodgers got hurt, Mike McCarthy is over there, right? It's like he was just didn't know what was going on. He didn't know what to do. Robert Sauls came out and said, "Hey man, you know what? Being that Aaron Rodgers hurt, I could just put everything on me. It's woe is me. It's just, this is the reason." So they conceded. They lost the season once Aaron Rodgers got hurt. Like, this is an organization that to me is just dysfunctional. They're broken. So I just don't see them doing much. Now it's possible that they can do it in that broken division. Because you only need to play second pretty much to make it to the playoffs.
Miami and New England.
Miami, New England.
Buffalo.
So Buffalo is always the rock over there. You know what I mean? Miami. Miami may take a step back this year. Miami may take a step back for sure.
Yep.
So it's possible that they can even probably lead that division, but I don't know that Aaron Rodgers gives them that possibility, because those two bums, I don't want to call them bums, but those two quarterbacks that they have back there were terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Man. I don't know what the hell they was thinking about.
But that all goes. But then Mr. C, like when they came out and said Mike McCarthy was just like, man, I don't know what to do now. It shows. Like, they was just hiking the ball and like, you run here, you run a 9 route, you run a go route, 9 route in the middle of the field. Like, what the heck are we doing here? You know what I mean? it showed on tape.
Yeah, they need to fix their line too, because their line is horrible also.
Exactly.
But
you got a quarterback that's coming off of a Achilles, and he's behind a bad offensive line. Don't look too good for him. Don't look too good for him.
Before we end it, I'm gonna throw a little extra out there. See what y'all think about that Cam Newton situation.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, the fight. This is any comments? I'm saying.
I liked it. Did you get a chance to watch his 4th and 1?
Nah, I didn't get a chance.
Actually, man, check Cam Newton podcast is actually really good. I checked it out, 4th and 1, and he was actually sitting there, talking about everything that happened. Right, he went to his platform to talk about everything that happened. Initially, everybody thought it was kids that jumped on him.
Right.
But it wasn't kids.
Bro,
These were his old coaches.
Yeah.
Came from under him. And
Looked like kids standing next to him.
Yeah, they did look like kids the way Cam was dragging them around that day. Hey, and his hat ain't never moved, man.
Hat never moved.
Hey, that's that Mashika. That's what he wear. He said that's that Mashika right there. That's the Mashika. Hey, shout out to Cam though. Shout out to Cam.
Shout out to Cam. Yeah, no doubt.
I definitely like the way he handled it. If y'all get a chance, just run through the 4th and 1 podcast.
I want to see that.
I don't want to put any words in his mouth or anything like that, but I liked how he handled it. He didn't try to deflect. He took on a responsibility, right? Because they initially said that Cam was out there talking crazy, but if you watch any of his 7-on-7s, Cam has that same energy at every 7-on-7 game. So. That's all I had on that, man.
And he giving back to the community.
Right.
So I gotta watch that.
My whole take was different on it when I found out it wasn't kids, because I thought it was kids. And to be honest with you, it still wouldn't have been criticizing him, because I teach high school.
It's 3-on-1.
I teach high school, so I know how these kids act. The ones that I see. So I wasn't even gonna criticize him then. I was gonna really praise him, because if it was kids, he really could have went to work on it. He was really
he held back. He held back.
Yeah. But to find out that it wasn't kids, I didn't really. To me, it really wasn't nothing. It was just cats just. We live in that age where everything's recorded, man. So
that's true.
How many coaches have been in fights and locker room fights and stuff happen that you don't get to see?
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna say this. It was an unfortunate scenario. And initially, I thought that it was kids, and I'm just here to say they should have brought their grown man fight, because that was not that whatever they was doing, they ain't bring their grown man fight, because they ended up looking like kids. Like they literally handled the situation. One hood down over here, you sit your butt down over here, and now what we doing? What you doing? Like I'm coming to tell you, it was one of those. So I got nothing but respect for him, man. He really could have went to town and hurt those dudes, and you could tell. I'm with D Webb. It's everything got cameras, man. And the last thing that you need to see is one of our kings and one of our professional athletes getting into a fight and it being broadcast all over.
Right.
Because I think they're looking for a payday. That's what I think they were looking for. A payday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And these guys, people forget. When fans especially, now these guys should know better because they know Cam, but you forgetting this guy was an MVP of the league. He ain't but 34 years old. People think Cam ain't, so he still has aspirations probably of even playing, so he's still in shape. So you coming at him, and those guys look like they wasn't bringing a lot of rump with them.
They ain't been in similar
What's the old saying? You got to bring some to get some, and they was bringing enough. He could have hurt them dudes.
Yeah, he could put hands on
it. He was literally trying to say, look, they should actually be embarrassed because he played them like it was a bunch of women that attacked him, and baby, stop playing now, stop, baby, now. Y'all stop. doing this stupidness, and that's how he treated them. Like they weren't even on his level. I'm not gonna even lay hands on you really, because we're not the same, and but to I think it was No Cap that said the unfortunate thing is that, and like D was said, the cameras, and now this is again us fighting us, with all the world to see, and that is always things that I find unfortunate. You're right, Mr. C, is that we always get shown in our negative light, negative light, at our worst, and like, here you go, one of your heroes, he's fighting, he's trying to do something for the community, and they attacking him. It's just not a good look, and that's I'm bad at this, almost to a point where it's negative, where I'm always cognizant of other people are looking, and how are we looking and portraying, because are we feeding and perpetuating the stereotype, or are we doing something to take that away? And that's, I always want to go the other way. That's my thoughts on it.
Agreed.
Pastor Drake from the Bay.
I know, right, yo.
Clap it up for you, man.
Hey, see, imagine if you think about that just real quick. Imagine if Chris Rock would have fought back Will Smith.
Oh man!
Can you imagine how ugly that would have been, man? I mean, like, I hear a lot of people say, what I would have done, this, that, and the other. But can you imagine really how ugly that would have been? Even if he didn't fight him, if they just locked up and fell on the ground.
Right.
He made a business decision, like we were talking about Jack Henry and his little backs. Chris Rock and $1.15 soaking with Will Smith, man. He made the right decision.
Yeah, he did.
No, the point I'm making is how bad.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
It would have been real ugly.
It would have been. I mean,
it would have been real
because
ugly.
what was ugly about that one is because, remember, that Academy Awards was produced by I forget the name, but the brother produced. It was a black produced Academy Award. You got Will winning the Academy Award for Best Actor, a black man. Will Smith.
It would have been real ugly.
If you would have, like you said, if they would have been rolling around there, because let's be, because he made a good decision, but if that's some other comedian, it may have gone another direction, depending on who it is.
Mike Epps would have been swinging back.
Oh yeah, no problem. What's his name? Cat Williams would have been swinging back.
It'd have been. We would have been dropping them low pleasures, but still, Cat would have.
I am not understanding why he to the stage to swing on me.
Wait a minute, you got you hiding your skills, brother.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
You are underestimating what I'm capable of.
That is your homeboy, ain't you? Oh, you from Dayton, but Cincinnati is close by.
He's from Dayton.
Look, fellas, I appreciate y'all coming out to the open pit, man.
Yes,
next week we're gonna hit it up with these, free agency Mondays, and that's when we're gonna pick back up with that.
Okay.
And keep rocking. I don't know if y'all got y'all drink with y'all to send us toast out.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let me jump in there real quick. See, let me just put this out. Hey, to our followers out there, right, and the people that just stumble across this open pit channel,
yes, sir.
Like, this is the open pit. You know what I mean? We here every Saturday. If you like what we creating here on this channel, hey, punch that like button, hit that subscribe, and turn your bell notification on. We here.
There you go.
All right. Thank you.
Yes,
Real
sir.
talk.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody, enjoy your
brother.
Saturday. Be safe, man.
All right,
All right,
much
man.
love,
Have a
brother.
good weekend. Everybody have a good weekend.
Okay.
Y'all too.